How are we different? What makes us better than the next? It sounds like everyone else. I've heard all of it before. I've gotten the questions. So in this video, I'm going to break down basically the answer to these questions. What are we doing that makes us different than the next agency? What makes us better than the next? And ultimately, how do we not sound like everyone else? What do we do that makes us not like everyone else? So if you don't know who I am, my name is Brian O'Neill. I'm the founder of Sore Thumb Agency. We work solely with insurance agencies to remove them off the vendor dependency and the over-reliance on referrals that majority are facing. So again, I'm going to break down everything we do, how you win in 2026, how you can pivot from the dependency that a lot of people have on vendors and ultimately own your own client acquisition systems. Now, a bit of proof first, why you should even listen. Andrew's agency, we generated $230K in revenue, which ultimately led to $4,487 per week. Life-changing revenue for a lot of folks. Kenny over here, 60K added in revenue in 57 days from 150 leads generated. But from his previous agency, this isn't his increase in volume vendor versus us. This is agency versus us. So someone who is the same as us, we increased Kenny's lead volume 87.5% in comparison to his previous agency with a cost per lead of $8.11. Insane numbers. Over here, again, these are all on the website. Check them out if you want. There's a few more there as well. We saved 80% of this client's cost per lead. So he was originally paying $40. We cut it to $8. In the message, he literally said, we're actually excited to follow up. His team were more excited to follow up, more excited about getting leads in because they're exclusive, they're high intent, they're qualified. What more can you want? People interested in what you want to sell, people interested in buying what you have to offer. That's the ultimate goal. That's how you just keep it lean, keep it efficient, and ultimately scale your agency. Vendors get you 0 to 10. Your own systems get you 10 to 100. A lot of people make the mistake. They stay with vendors trying to get 10 to 20, 20 to 30, and it doesn't compound. You hit a ceiling. The only way you scale with the vendor model is hire another agent. You need to scale your agents. You need to give them better quality leads at the same volume, which ultimately lets them close more and write more premium. But a lot of people think, my agent's hit his max. I need another agent in here. No, screw that. Replace the vendors with your own. Your team can handle more or the same volume, but there's better quality. Your pickup rate increases. Your quote rate increases. Ultimately, your close rate will increase naturally just from the pickup rate. So that's what people need to look for in 2026. Now, how do we do these? How do we get these results? The 9 steps to success that we follow for every single client. This is just our framework. We do not change this. It's the same for everyone. Now, most folks just do steps 3 and step 6. They build the images, they build the videos, they build copy, and then they launch ads. It's not how it works. Phase 1 is the foundation. You do your research, deep dive into your demographic and the pain points of your ideal customers. If you do not understand why your ideal customers buy, why they should pick you and not someone else, what their pain points are, and the outcomes they're looking to achieve, how do you realistically think you're going to attract these people? If you can't identify what they're struggling with and why they buy, how can you attract them? You need to understand them before you attract them. So stage 1 is research. Figure all this stuff out. Once we have all that written down on paper, we build offers around it. I say this time and time again, insurance is not an offer, it's a mechanism. Insurance is not the offer. People do not care about insurance, they never will. It's not sexy, no one gives a shit about it. Insurance and tax, no one cares. Tax is a mechanism. Insurance is a mechanism. You need to sell the outcome. Insurance gets them the outcome. Insurance doesn't sell. You need to sell them the outcome. Sell them on their pain points. Hit them on their emotions. You get what I mean? Protecting family, building legacy, all of that stuff, whatever. That's the offer. You just achieve that by insurance. Then once we have the offers built, the research done, we build the assets around that. Now that we know our offer, we have multiple different offers, we know our audience, we build the assets, we build the copy, the images, the videos, the hooks, the emotionally triggering hooks, the main body with the pain points, flip that narrative into the solution, and ultimately the call to action, which gets overlooked time and time again. What do you want your lead or your prospect to do when they see your ad, they read your message? What's the step? What do you want them to do? Do you want them to drive to your office? Do you want them to drive to your home? Do you want to send an email, meet them for lunch? Tell them what to do next. Click this, do this, and XYZ will happen. If you're not clear with that, they won't do it. If you just end it without a call to action, how can you expect someone to just know what to do? You need to be very clear on that. And that's the thing that people just don't look at. They think the job's done when they build the images, the videos, the copy, all of it. No, job is not done until you have a clear call to action. Then once we do all of this, we get to phase 2, the launch phase, lead capture. We build out dedicated landing pages. If we're selling life insurance, this works for home and auto, commercial, employee benefits, whatever it is. But let's just use life insurance. If you're selling life insurance, you need to send them to a dedicated landing page on life insurance, not a website where they can check all your services, check about, see the team. No one wants to see that. They get overwhelmed with info. Keep them in that tunnel vision. Why they got attracted to your business in the first place was because you hit a pain point. Keep them on that pain. The life insurance, all of it, to keep them in that focus. Send them to a dedicated landing page with a form built in and just pre-sell, essentially. So we do that. We have the form, the questions that they're going to answer. When they submit it, we get to stage 5, the CRM routing, instant lead delivery across to your CRM. Or ultimately, if yours isn't that efficient, we will just give you our own sub-account on our custom CRM. We have pipelines built, automations built, nurturing built, retention built, all of it done for you. And a lot of people, I will say, their CRMs are not efficient. They think they are, but when they jump on and we show them what we do, they realize, shit, they're a bit behind, which is fine. You can't expect to do it all. But we will build it out for you. The nurturing, all of it. Now, once we have all of these done, we have our ads, our offer, our research done, we have the lead capturing part finished, and we sync it to the CRM, then we launch. You do not launch until all of this is done. It's impossible to win with ads or any sort of advertising or marketing. You have to have all this stuff done. Then phase 3 is scale. Feedback loops, which I'll dive into below this little section here. It's a whole thing in itself. Feedback loops, we essentially take the data from sales and feed that back to the campaigns. We optimize in stage 8, cut losers, scale winners. If we have 5 ads running, 2 are winners, 3 don't do shit. We turn the 3 off, take the 2, make variations. Now we have 4 and we test and test and test. Now we have 4, 2 are taking the reins again. We turn off 2, make iterations, put them back in, turn off, make iterations, and just keep scaling winners on winners. Then the last stage of all is multi-channel. A lot of folks use 4, 5, God, even 6 different vendors at any given time. We want to replicate that model, but with your own systems. We don't want to just be reliant on one channel. We want to have all of them. YouTube, Google, TikTok, Meta, Facebook, Instagram, all of them running, LinkedIn, TV, radio, whatever. You need all of them running simultaneously to win and to actually scale, because if one breaks, you're not on the back foot. Whereas if you're reliant on, let's say, one vendor, and all of a sudden that vendor has a crappy week or a crappy month, you feel the brunt of that. But if you have 4 or 5, and one is kind of just playing up a bit, you're not worried because you know you have these ones over here. You need to do that same thing with your own systems. So they're the 9 steps to success that we follow and implement when we onboard a new client. Now, the feedback loops that I mentioned. Let's say we launch the campaigns, we capture the leads, we track the sales data, leads in, contact rate, quote rate, close rate, all of it. We track every single metric possible. We have a feedback loop set up. We don't do this manually. It's too time consuming. We have a feedback loop set up that when someone, let's just say they close, we get 20 leads in, you close 5. We send the 5 back to say, hey, thanks for the 20, but I don't want 20 of those. I want 5. I want 20 of these 5. So get more like this. So we optimize the targeting. Now, why we track you might think, well, of course, we're always going to optimize for the close. Not necessarily, because you might know you have an internal sales problem and your team isn't actually that efficient at closing. So you might say, well, fuck, we know the contact rate is good, but we're bad at the sales after that part. Okay, let's optimize for the contacted. or you might optimize for the quote. But when you track it all, you can optimize for whatever you want. So ultimately, I just want you to see, do you see how this compounds? If you don't, pause it, rewind, watch it again, even from the start if you like. But you need to understand how this compounds, because that's the winning piece with ads. You have the feedback loops. If you just run ads, you get 20, you close 5, you get 20, you close 5, you get 20, you close 5, you don't scale. You need the feedbacks happening, so you get 20, you close 5. Next month you get 20, you close 7, 28, 20, 10, and just keep scaling that up. You'll never have a clean 20-20 ratio, by the way. Impossible. Doesn't happen. You'll always get unqualified leads. People know how to get through forms sometimes. They answer questions the right way when they're not actually qualified. It happens. So don't expect to get 100% success ratio with it. It doesn't work. Now, the next thing is the 24/7 sales assistant, which is killer. So imagine your leads getting touched 5 times. That's bare minimum, by the way. We have nurture campaigns running for 3, 6, 9, 12 months, however long that needs to run. But even just off the get-go, you get a lead in, boom, text message. Day later, email, text message again, email, text. This can be built out however you like. We have a pre-built in a way that we see work. Text and email day 1, text the next day. This is while you're calling in between as well. But all of this automated in the background. Someone replies, they're engaged with instantly. It's just insane. So this needs to be implemented. It gives your team more time to focus on the higher leverage tasks, like closing the ones that are quoted or following up with the ones they contacted and just maybe re-engaging with them. But when this runs for you, you don't need to worry about the lower leverage tasks. You can focus a lot of your energy to close more and focus on the high intent leads that come in every time. Let the nurture do its thing for the low intent, the unqualified ones. They might convert just off the text alone or might ask for a call. Who knows? But without this, you'll have to ring every single one. So what this does, it gives you total ownership, exclusive leads. You own 100% of the data. There's no sharing. There's no competition. We only work exclusively with one agency per territory. And I mean that. Now, we might work with a home and auto, a life insurance agency in the same state comes to us. Of course, we're going to work with 2 because they're not competing with each other. But if we work with a home and auto in California, which we do, we're not going to work with another home and auto agency in California. It's unethical. It's just completely unethical for what we do and what we're looking to achieve and also do for our clients. So that's the first thing. We're averaging, this is actually not true. This is higher than this actually. It's 33.14%, but it's just easy, have 30. So a 33.14% lead to quote ratio, high intent pre-qualified leads ready to talk. Now imagine every 1 in 3 leads you get, not even contacted, every 1 in 3 leads that you get, you quote. What would that actually do for your business? A hell of a lot, I could imagine. So how do we get that? Some people might look at that, bullshit, don't believe it. Go back, watch the 9 steps to success that we implement. This is how we know our audience, we hit their pain, they want something solved, we give that solution. We give a clear call to action. Our ads look phenomenal as well. We have all these layers in place that allow us to achieve this outcome. That's how. If you just do the steps 3 and 6, like I said, copy and ads and launch campaigns, this will be on the floor. You might have it like, 5 to 10% maybe, which probably isn't really that bad. But if you can achieve a 30% lead to quote ratio by putting in the work, of course you're going to do it. Now, the automated pipeline, similar to the 24/7 sales assistant, they work in unison together. We get a new lead in here. They move across automatically through your pipeline. When you contact them, they'll move. When you quote them, they'll move. When you close them, they will move. You can add the value to each. This is a quick little snippet of the pipeline itself. There's a lot more info within it. Now, you can add the value of each lead that comes in. You can do so much with this, but these will move along your pipeline automatically. So you can just jump in any time of day. There's a lot more stages than what's shown here. But this was just to give a quick overview of it, of course. So with this pipeline, it moves automatically. You just jump in, you see what you need to do on a given day. You can tag them by their intent. You can have the traffic light system, green or super hot, orange or mid-qualified, red, maybe ignore them. You can add these into your leads so you know by a glance Who's the high quality? Who's the low quality? Again, let the nurture handle the low quality ones. So you need this. You need all of it, to be honest. You need something that's going to generate leads, but you also need a system in the back end that's going to handle a lot of the grunt work. Now, the operations hub, also with what we do, we have a live automated ticketing system. You click a button, you pop in your ticket, it gets dropped into our internal Slack channel, and we get back to you within 10 minutes. Now, this is obviously just like not a real ticket, but add whatever you want. It can be, you'll never really ask about the ad copy, to be honest, because we'll be on top of that. But it can be anything. It could be the CRM, it could be an automation. We build your automations for you as well. We handle a lot of work. We're an operations team, we're a marketing team, all the stuff you've shown, we are a team with that. So we're not just a one-trick pony, essentially. So you have a live ticketing system. All the SOPs you'll have weekly reports in there, lead follow-up protocols, all the onboarding that we went through. You'll have SOPs on the CRM, how to use certain features. We build you SOPs on anything new that you ask for. This is the level of support that we have. And if that's too much, maybe it's not a good fit, but we are there. We're in the corner with you, making sure we're building this up to where it needs to go. So the last and very, very important thing, the hidden gem to just free money, essentially, is reactivation campaigns. So many agencies have a database of leads that they do not optimize or maximize opportunity. There's so much potential in your database. We take that list from you, we put them into a drip campaign. You should get a 15 to 20% reactivation rate. It's industry standard, by the way, for warm outreach. And ultimately, if you have 500 plus dormant clients, that can lead to 100K in revenue from leads you already have. Imagine I could just say, hey, you don't need to spend a dime on your ads, but there's probably 100K sitting in your business that you're not aware of. You bite the arm off me. So identify lapsed clients 500, personalized re-engagement 350, scheduled calls 105, new policy sold 75 to 100. Legit industry standard. What would that do if we could just unlock 100K from leads you already have? We're not even talking about the leads that we generate as well. So hopefully this has given you a bit more insight into what makes us different, the level of support we have. There's probably even some bits that I didn't go through on this call or this video, but hopefully you understand a bit more depth into the benefit of all this and how we can actually help you remove the dependency on vendors, remove the over-reliance on referrals, and ultimately own your client acquisition in 2026. We have an onboard to launch timeline of 5 days. All that research, all that stuff that I mentioned, we are in on it. We have a team doing the research. We have a team doing the offers and creatives. We have a team on the CRM. We have a team, every little piece of the puzzle in place. We're launched in 5 days. It's insane, the turnaround of it. If you want to see how we launch it in 5 days, check out the other videos on the channel. So that is all from me. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got value from it. If you have any questions, feel free to message me on LinkedIn, send an email to hello@sorethumagency.com. Or if you like what you see and you want to see how this can be implemented into your agency specifically, book in a call below. We'll jump on. We'll find out your problems, the bottlenecks you're facing. And if it's a good fit and we genuinely feel like we can help, we will walk you through a custom game plan specifically for your agency. On that note, thanks for watching. See you soon.